Happy Wisdom Wednesday, everyone. So I'm here in beautiful Dana Point at the Ritz-Carlton for the LSI Emerging MedTech Summit. It's a fantastic summit about emerging innovations in the medical world. And I'm here meeting physicians, investors, and a variety of entrepreneurs who are showing the latest in medtech technology. But, of course, we never skip the book of the week. And this is the smallest book of the week I've ever had, and that's E Squared by Pam Ground. 9 do-it-yourself energy experiments that prove your thoughts create your reality. Now, how did I come across this book? Well, I was doing a search through Amazon and I found this book and it had over 5,000 reviews, and it was a 5-star book. And I said, how does this book have 5,000 reviews at 5 stars? I've never heard of it. So I went ahead and bought it. And there is, of course, a paperback version, but then the hardcover was only $4. And I said, let me buy the hardcover. Well, it turns out it's a smaller compendium. But it's a fantastic book, and I want to relate it to a story that I heard today at one of the keynotes at LSI. This is an amazing conference. I highly recommend you follow their page. Now, that keynote was by MedTech exec and sort of iconic entrepreneur Scott Hunnekens, who got his first break at Volcano, and of course has a history of bringing extremely disruptive and innovative medical technology platforms to market, right? And Scott shared his story as an entrepreneur of the ups and downs that are involved, right? The challenges, the failures, but more importantly, the success and how he got to those points. And one of the things he mentioned is that he comes from extremely humble beginnings. Very, very poor, was raised by a single mother, right? And went through all kinds of challenges in his life. And when he was a young kid, he saw a picture of Harvard Business School in a magazine, and he wanted to go there. And of course, being a kid from humble beginnings, he didn't know how he would do it, but he knew that he could. He ripped that picture out, put it on his mirror in his bathroom, and every day visualized. And of course, later on in life, he was able to attend Harvard Business School. Now, why do I mention that? Because one of the things that's talked about here in this book in E Squared is this idea of the field of infinite potentiality. Because you see, our coincidences in life aren't really coincidences. It's the fact that we send out specific energy into the world and we focus through visualization and deep belief, and those vibrations, that energy, helps us realize the things that we want in life through our actions. And I know that this often sounds like kind of a wild and crazy thing, right? But that's in fact how things happen. If you look at the great athletes in this world, great entrepreneurs like Steve Jobs, they had a deep resonance with the world around them, and they visualize exactly what happened. We often look to answers in the outside world when in reality the answers to our problems, the answers to the things we want are within us. We just have to be able to do that. So what Pam does is that she puts together these 9 experiments, and very much like a science experiment, she has you state a question, collect information, form a hypothesis, test the hypothesis, record and study the data, and draw conclusions. Because this concept of the infinite field of potentiality, some people know it as the secret, or again, visualization. People are like, well, I don't know if that really works or not. Well, Pam has you do these tests yourself to say, let me allow you to prove it to yourself this actually exists, right? And if you think about the world the way it works, most people, if not close to all of us, right, we are born with our brains, which is pretty much the genetics and the makeup of how every single brain works, right? On top of that, we have our traumas in life, our childhood experiences, right? And most of us go throughout the world being the recipient of life, the recipient of our experience. The next level above that, which is what this book is about, is how do you develop hacks in life? How do you develop skill sets so that you can essentially author your reality, right? We have the ability to perceive what we want and make whatever we want out of life. So how do we do things such as develop a skill set for optimism, develop a skill set to reframe our problematic situations into opportunities, right? That's what this real book is about. And I think for any entrepreneur, anyone who's looking to level up in life, and of course, change the problems that you see in the world, and more importantly, look inward, inside of yourself to say, how can I take this and reframe it and essentially author my own reality? So it's a really great book. It's very interesting. I would definitely get it and be open-minded to it and take these experiments and put them into action. So that's the book of the week. Happy Wisdom Wednesdays, and as always, I'll see you next week. But for now, enjoy this beautiful you.